So today, we're going to break down a really interesting review of Avatar: Fire and Ash. And what's so fascinating is that it paints a picture of a movie that's really two things at once, right? On one hand, you've got this absolutely mind-blowing visual spectacle. I mean, something that just pushes the limits of what movies can even do. But then on the other hand, you have a story that feels, well, pretty comfortable, familiar even. And that brings up the big question, the one we're really going to dig into. Which one of those things actually defines the experience?
And yeah, that really is the heart of the whole debate, isn't it? Can a movie just completely dazzle you? I mean, blow you away with how it looks? Even if the story feels like something you've kind of heard before? Does a jaw-dropping, absolutely flawless spectacle need an equally groundbreaking story to really work? That's what we're going to explore.
All right, so let's start with the part of the film that the review says is its absolute, undisputed triumph, the spectacle. And the way it's described is pretty cool. It's like a Ferrari, but not just any Ferrari. It's a top-of-the-line Ferrari driving on a state-of-the-art expressway built just for it. That paints a picture, right?
And the review doesn't pull any punches. It makes this incredibly bold claim right out of the gate. We're not just talking, this movie looks good. No. It's saying this film is in a league of its very own. That when you look at this level of technical wizardry, there's just nothing else out there that can compete. Literally no rival in the market.
But it goes even deeper than that. The argument isn't just that the movie looks better in premium formats like 3D or IMAX. The review basically says this movie is the entire reason those formats even exist. It's the ultimate justification for the giant screen, for that booming sound, for all the tech that makes you feel like you are there.
And right here is where the reviewer really draws a line in the sand. This is more than just praise, you know? It's them saying, okay, this is it. This is the new standard. From this point on, any film that wants to call itself a technical marvel has to measure up to this. This is the benchmark now, period.
And all that technical skill isn't just for show. It leads to this really powerful emotional gut punch. We're talking more than just cool special effects. It's about creating a world that feels so real, so incredibly tangible, that you find yourself actually genuinely wanting to be there. It's like the review says, you just want to book a one-way ticket to Pandora. It doesn't just show you a world, it makes you want to live in it. Okay, so let's flip the coin and talk about the other half of this movie, the story. Because if the spectacle is this screaming, high-speed Ferrari, well, the story is described as something a lot more familiar. The review compares it to writing an essay on a topic you already know inside and out.
Now, to be fair, the review gives the story's foundation a lot of credit. It's built on some really solid, universal themes. You've got nature versus human greed, you've got these tough moral choices, and a real respect for culture and history. It's a classic setup, right? It celebrates values that we all get, instantly.
But, and this is a big but, this is also where the main critique comes in. The reviewer calls the story competent, sure, but also kind of personality-less. It's comforting, you know, like watching water just peacefully flowing down a river. It's nice, but when it's over, nothing really sticks with you. It's exactly like that essay on a known truth. You know what you're supposed to say, you know all the points to hit, and you definitely know how it's going to end. It's pleasant, but totally predictable.
So, okay, we've got this revolutionary, high-tech engine and this classic familiar body. How in the world do those two things come together? Well, according to the review, this is exactly where you find the movie's real magic.
And this is where that simple story, believe it or not, actually becomes a huge strength. Those universal ideas, family, loss, they become a direct pipeline to your emotions. So much so that the reviewer admits, yeah, they were moved to tears. And that's the magic trick right there. That familiar story is like a solid emotional anchor. It gives the spectacle a target, and then the spectacle can just deliver that emotion with this incredible, overwhelming force.
And you see this connection most powerfully in the characters. The technology here isn't just about making things look cool. It's literally building a bridge to the characters' souls. It gives these digital creations so much nuance and depth that they start to feel profoundly real.
So, in a way, the spectacle becomes the storyteller. The review makes this great point, that you don't just hear a character talk about their internal conflict. No, you can actually see it. You can feel it just by looking into their CGI eyes. The tech makes their inner journey something you can see, something tangible, something you really, really feel.
All right, so after weighing everything, the mind-blowing spectacle on one side, the traditional story on the other, where does the review finally land? Let's get to the final verdict. And when it comes to the final call, honestly, it's not even a contest. You've got the story, which is, it's fine, it's noble, but not super memorable. And then you've got the spectacle, which is being called a masterpiece, a benchmark for the entire industry. It's clear that the sheer raw power of the experience just completely tips the scales.
And this brings us right back to that brilliant Ferrari metaphor from the beginning. The review puts it perfectly. While other filmmakers are maybe chugging along in rickety old cars on this cinematic expressway, James Cameron just blows past them in a state-of-the-art Ferrari. And that familiar story? Well, that's just the reliable, functional chassis you need to hold that revolutionary engine. So at the end of the day, the conclusion is crystal clear. The whole point of this film is the experience. The entire thing is built to justify the act of going to the movies. The ticket price, the line, the expense of popcorn, all of it, because it transports you somewhere else in a way that nothing else can.
And the review leaves us with one last, really powerful thought to chew on. Maybe the whole point of escaping so completely into Pandora, into its beauty and its struggles, isn't just about entertainment. The idea is, by making us feel such a deep, immersive connection to this fictional world, maybe, just maybe, it inspires us to be a little more responsible for our own.